I was so like immature. Like look back at myself then, I was so mad, so immature. Like some of the things I used to say on camera and stuff, just absolutely awful. Just like rubbish opinions for the sake of having an opinion.
So before we start talking about travel, I wanted to talk a little bit more about you, give the listeners a little bit of insight about perhaps how you started at Football Daily and then the stuff you do at Sky Sports too. So how did you start at Football Daily?
So basically, straight out of university, I joined Team Football Daily, or a company called Diagonal View. That was like my first job out of university, which is really, really fortunate, obviously. I'd done jobs before, like classic pub work, like cleaning toilets, cleaning dishes and stuff, and then working in bars and pubs and stuff when I was 17, 18. But yeah, straight out of uni, my first major job was Football Daily, and I joined Diagonal View, who were a kind of production house, I guess you'd call them, for digital media, writing articles for a website, for the Football Daily website, which is was a thing to behold. It obviously doesn't exist anymore, but it was terrible. It was like sort of gimme sport Bible, that sort of like clickbait rubbish, just to get people enticed via Facebook. Not good. But I did get me a foot in the door at Football Daily. So when the producer of the YouTube channel left, it kind of left a void to fill in terms of video making, and I had the skills to do that from university, where I studied journalism. So I was able to step in and make videos. So obviously back then we were only a small team of like two, and the channel was called Football Daily, but we made 3 videos a week, which is madness. So yeah, we kind of went about it that way, and that's how I got my break at Football Daily, which is very fortunate, very lucky.
Yeah, massive. So how old were you when you started taking the reins at Football Daily?
Well, I was 21 when I joined, but I would say probably a couple of years, so like 22, 23, probably more about the sort of time that I started to actually grow into the role a little bit more. Just because, I was so like immature. Like look back at myself then, I was so mad, so immature. Like some of the things I used to say on camera and stuff, just absolutely awful. Just like rubbish opinions for the sake of having an opinion. But yeah, I would say more like 23-ish, probably.
Yeah. Did you always want to be on camera?
Not really. When I was at university, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like being on camera. I don't know why. I just didn't have the confidence to do it. Which is like weird to think now, because I love being on camera. But equally, I think it's something that you kind of fall into once maybe, and then you're like, oh, we get a bit of a bug for it. I was kind of interested in written journalism and stuff like that, which obviously now I look back on, I'm like, why was I so interested in that? Like, I don't enjoy it very much anymore. I don't really read that many written articles, and I don't think anybody really does, if they're honest. But overall, I'd say it's something I kind of fell into, got lucky with, and then I just got a bit of a bug for it.
Quality, mate, and you're smashing it. And obviously, I know that you now present Saturday Social, your second season on Saturday Social for Sky Sports. That's massive, mate, though, isn't it? That jump to present a lineage on Sky Sports, that must have been huge for you.
That's a crazy opportunity, man. And it's such a privilege to do it every week, to be honest with you. You get to work with so many experienced people in such a tough field to break into, because and it's something I will really never take for granted, because you get to sit there every week and work with a director who's probably done hundreds of hours of directing of Premier League and Champions League games. You get to work with producers who've worked on Premier League and Champions League games. Work with another presenter like Smithy, who's had years of experience in this industry and how he works and how he interviews. I've taken a lot of sort of like interview tips from Smithy, because he's really, really good at that. And I think he's probably developed himself, his little style, over the last few years, the more he's done. So it's just a privilege to be able to work with those guys every week, really. And it also works so well along with Football Daily, because it's the Saturday show, and classically Football Daily is more like Monday to Friday. It's just perfect. So yeah, extremely fortunate, mate.
Yeah, and you've started doing some of the player interviews as well, which I know, because a lot of the time I'm the one sieving through the rushes to edit them. What's that been like, going around the country meeting footballers?
Yeah, it's great. It's so much fun. Obviously, I'd done it before with Football Daily, but again, I'd say over like the last 18 months, I've started to develop a bit more of my own style. I think when I was at Football Daily doing interviews with players, I look back on them, I'm kind of like, wow, like who am I trying to be? I think it's very easy to watch like other YouTubers at the time or other presenters, and you look at their style and you're like, wow, they're so energetic. They're in people's faces. They're trying to be funny. They're trying to do this, that, and the other. And you almost want to imitate them, which is obviously not the right way to go. But I think it's definitely something you learn the more you do it, that you want to just be yourself and just be natural. And that's the best way to get something out of the other person, because as soon as you try and be young Philly or you try and be Smithy, it doesn't work. It just comes across as inauthentic, and I think that's a real killer for like a lot of presenters. And it's something I've probably only really learned in like the last 18 months, especially when it comes to interviewing players.